So we're gonna open these doors so that there's no door sound. The only startling that's gonna happen is her visually seeing them enter in from around that stairway. So we are gonna have Lennox disappear so she can't watch them go outside. Then you guys are gonna exit. Good, and just hang around the corner of my house by the driveway, count to 5, and then come back in. So wait for them to get out of sight. Lennox is already getting more keyed up because she doesn't know what's happening at the door. So what we're gonna look for here is whether or not Lennox's startle response is to the people coming in. And you can see she's already keyed up. At this state of arousal, where she's not too keyed up, you want to yes, Lennox, yes, and then throw a treat on the ground for her to eat. Yes. So she already knows something's about to happen. We're going to cue it. What is it, Lennox? Yeah, good girl. Toss it away from the person. Yeah, good girl. Good. And you guys can stay right there. Let's wait for her to look at them again. What is it? Yes, good girl. And then you guys can exit. Count to 10 this time. Yes. As they're leaving, we're not going to want to prevent or stop rather the training. It's the whole thing. So now we're going to close the glass door. She can still see them come in, but she's having to hear a door sound now. So we're going to come back out. We're going to work the same thing. She's aroused, yes, and treat for any kind of calm observation that she has. What is it? Yes. What is it? What is it? Come on in. Yeah, she didn't even look at the sound of the door that time. That's great. Yes, good girl, Dennis. Always tossing the food away from the person. Yes, good girl. Nice. All right, so same thing. Go outside and count to 10, but I'm going to close both doors now. Yes, good girl. It's really important to practice all of this stuff using baby steps here. Baby steps is key for this. Yes, good girl. You want to have your guests tell you when they are coming over so that you can prepare by leashing your dog up. If your dog isn't so intense as Lennox is at the door, Lennox has a bite history, it would be better if the dog wasn't on leash. Because sometimes dogs can feel more leash or trapped being on a leash, but because Lennox has shown herself to be more dangerous, I don't want her to jump at guests. Yes. So she hears them before I did. Yes, good girl. Yes, good. Yes, Lennox, good girl. Yes. Nice. I'm going to wait for her to look at them again. What is it? Yes, good girl. Okay, this time same thing, except I'm going to have you guys give her treats when you come in. You're just going to throw them to her, okay?
I have some.
You have some? Okay, perfect.
All right. Count to 10, you said?
Yep, count to 10. Whenever the person coming in is able to give the dog something that they really enjoy, like food or a toy, it makes it even more of a powerful memory for the dog to have this situation happen. I want you guys to pay close attention to her ears. She's going to be able to know when my parents are coming up the steps before I do. And yes, these are my parents, but Lennox has just recently gotten to a point where she accepts them. There's still instances in which she is frazzled, like she will not tolerate them petting her or handling her in any way. So right now she's totally focused on me. I want to wait until you see her acknowledge the sound of those steps. Yes, and treat. You see how she looked towards that door? Her ears went up a little bit. Let's see if she can do it again. Yes, and treat. Anytime she looks towards that door, she may be hearing my parents coming up. Yes, and treat. And I'm going to want to actively try and move her away a little bit. And then when she looks back up at my parents, they're going to toss her food. Good job. Yes, good job. And then when you're at this step, you'd want to instruct your guests to calmly take a seat on the couch. So if you guys would take a seat on the couch. And while people are moving, their shape looks different. So sometimes dogs find it harder to watch people sit down and stand up. So the whole time that's happening, I'm going to make sure she's busy looking for food or playing with a toy that I had with her. And then if she ever looks at them, yes, and treat that. And then you're going to instruct your guests to start to toss treats underhand to the dog. So wait for her to look at you. Yes, and treat, good. And throwing it away from the dog is good. Remember, your dog is struggling with interacting with people, so we would hate for them to try and get her to come closer to them, because that's not what we want. So then tossing it away from the dog is better. And be careful about your throws. Lennox. You want your throws to be underhand and not overhand, because underhand looks a lot less threatening than overhand. So underhand tosses, good. Okay, now we're going to practice standing up. This is something that Lennox struggles with, so I'm going to have to work her more than my guests. So yes, and treat. For the observation, you guys can slowly step up and leave. Yes, good girl. See, if she barks like that, we're just going to ask her to turn around. Lennox. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Good job. Any kind of escalation and arousal, you want to try and physically turn the dog away. Yes, and try and treat them at more of a distance. And that you could see is something that Lennox definitely struggled with more. And that turn again, I'm not yanking on the leash. I'm not jerking it. I'm slowly just applying pressure, saying turn. And getting her to a distance away where she's turning and facing me instead of the trigger. So she's up here, and I say turn, 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 turn. Yes, and treat when that hen whips around back at you. Okay? And that's about it.